Hey, what's going on? My name is Alec Medeiros. I'm a fire engineer with the City of Petaluma Fire Department in Northern California. And I'm here today at the Pierce factory doing the final on our Type 1 Pierce fire pumper. A couple of cool features that this pumper has that our old ones don't have is this idle reduction technology. Shuts down the engine so there's less idle time. Kind of a big thing in California with emissions controls. The other thing we have here is the TAC 4 front suspension. So it's independent front suspension. One of the big sellers for us to go with Pierce was both of these features for this engine. Makes the quality of ride and the safety of the apparatus just that much better. So right around here, stepping up into the Enforcer cab with the batteries here. So some of the features inside the cab are the idle reduction technology that we talked about, as well as the MUX display, kind of a control center for all the operations within the vehicle. Heater controls over here. This rig is a pump and roll capable fire engine for the California Fire Service. So we have the ability to turn on our auxiliary pump from this location. And that's a shift on the fly kind of deal. We have a water gauge over here that shows us our tank level, so we really don't even have to get out of the rig to do any of that pump and roll firefighting. Up here we elected for all our emergency lighting as well as our scene lighting. This is extremely bright. Momentary opticom as well as traditional opticom. And then we moved some of our stuff down here, including our siren control box, our mobile radio on a swivel. We also have a from the ground option to turn on and off our Code 3 package, which is just a nice thing when you're working around traffic. It's midship pump. We went with the Waterous 1500 GPM pump, and so far been pretty impressed with that. So in the back seat, we elected for the highest level of back seat comfort, where we have both slide and tilt back features on the seat themselves. 4-man cab, but we run 3 firefighters in the cab. We went with a clean cab design, so we have a cab filtration system up here that cleans the air within the cab, kind of air scrubber. And then for gear compartmentation, everything's accessed from the external doors, keeping the cab clean from the firefighter contaminants. And also adjustable armrests, which are really nice. Coming around here to the pump panel, this driver's side pump panel, like I said, a 1500 GPM pumper, as well as 250 GPM auxiliary pump. The auxiliary pump's kind of the latest and greatest in PTO style driven pumps, where this pump, no matter your ground speed while driving, it doesn't affect your pressure. You set your pressure by turning this on, setting your pressure to whatever desired pressure you have, and you have a constant pump and roll pressure with this system. It's a PTO over hydraulic system. We also went with the Husky 3 foam system, which is a really neat and efficient foam system, very easy to use and simple to operate, and it makes really good foam. We tried that out yesterday and it works great. We went with the Venturi air primers that we have at at some of the other engines that we have at home. They work great as well. We do have a reel line up top, a booster reel that we can rewind from both sides of the apparatus. Scene control lights on the panel, so we can add those on and off no matter where we're at. The midship has its own primer as well. So we kind of walk around. This is our engineer's compartment with a slide out type open toolbox with locking slides, 3 of those slides, as well as the air pack for the engineer. Because we carry 4 people on the rig, we also elected to put an air pack in a compartment like this where you'd normally have your SCBA bottles. And so it's a lot bigger than I ever even anticipated it being. So a really nice little compartment there. We went with a swing out pegboard here to mount hand tools to, as well as a pegboard in the back. This thing is rated for like 400 pounds, so I can hang off of it no problem. I think it's gonna last for a long time. We put a SCBA bottle hole as well as our diesel fuel and DEF fuel fill station in here as well, so it's all in one. There's a 50-gallon diesel tank on this. This is actually a transverse compartment that we added a removable wall to in the back, so we can actually make this a through and through compartment, or we can have it walled off like it currently is. So another couple of cool features that we elected to go with is the electronic hosebed covers. We did that because we live in a pretty windy area in California, and we've had on-the-job injuries with hosebed covers coming down, blowing down with the wind, and hitting firefighters while they're loading hose. So both sides of our hose compartment here have electric hosebed covers. Another thing that we did back here is we elected to do an air dump valve. This air dump dumps the rear air suspension, drops the back tailboard approximately 6 inches or so. You hold it for 5 seconds and it starts dumping the rear suspension. And we can control that in the cab as well as on the ground back here. So when we pull up to the fire, the engineer can hit that while he's putting his pump in gear. In California, we have a lot of Wildland fire incidents, and this was a Wildland municipal specific engine. So we went with these iZone hook brackets. We can hold hose rolls that are in the fast attack or fast deployment mode, where they're hooked up to either side of the rig, filled with water and hanging on these hooks. So we can go house to house in a bump and run or fire front following type scenario, and rapidly deploy our hoses over and over again throughout the day. It is equipped with a backup camera, and this is the only roll-up door on the fire truck. We have storage for long-handled tools that would be accessed through the driver or passenger side, where we can slide those tools in and out, as well as a sliding rear tray that locks in the open position as well as the closed position. We went with the slide-through ladder compartment, which does take up valuable compartment space, but it also saves for firefighter safety and injury by pulling the ladders out at ground level. So really easy to use, even for the shorter firefighters. We also carry a New York style hook up there, as well as a rubbish hook, 10-foot folding attic ladder, and a 14-foot roof ladder. So this is that transverse compartment that actually goes through all the way, can go all the way to the driver's side. But currently we have the divider in there that won't allow that to happen. This tray slides out. So in this compartment, we have the 3-person's air pack as well as the captain's air pack, and then some extra storage for different gear or whatnot. We're actually going to center the tray that's modular inside, as well as add straps to the door just for ease of operation when you're opening and closing and the suspension isn't dumped. It's a little bit high. We use this compartment for our EMS storage. We hold 4 EMS bags, as well as a narcotics lock safe and a monitor, a heart monitor. All the way around on our hose beds, we went with the nylon seatbelt strapped hose bed covers to help eliminate the mold issue that we have with our old vinyl covers. And then up here is our backboard compartment as well. So on both sides of the cab, we carry our 6-foot New York roof hook that go in these nice little brackets here. And on both sides of the engine, we have these compartments dedicated to various extinguishers. So we put in an extinguisher well that will hold the extinguisher without a strap. You can grab it from the head, pull it out, and be on your way. So on the front bumper, we do pump and roll, so we have a front bumper line. We can fit 100 feet of 1 3/4 line in this basket, and it's an always live line that we can shut off from the pump panel if needed. So the firefighter can actually turn it on and off from here as soon as we put the pump in gear. So no other actions are needed from them. We have our pedestrian warning bell, and we have the QTB siren as well as an electric siren. So this is our emergency code 3 package. As well as our all of our scene lighting. And something that's kind of neat with this one is around the headlights you see they call it the halo flash. That halo flash just turns on with the code 3 package. Pretty neat. Yeah, I'd just like to thank Pierce for making such a great fire engine, Golden State Fire Apparatus, as well as John Bauer for being our representatives here while we're out from California, the city of Petaluma for allowing us to take the reins on this project and build a fire engine specifically for the firefighters and the needs of the state of California. And thank you for watching.